Public urged to report potential terrorists at Christmas market and pantos. Hang on a second. I thought diversity was our strength. That was all a bit intense, wasn't it? You know what I mean? But hang on a second. Are we not wrong here? Surely we were told that bringing in loads of immigrants into the UK was a good thing, surely. And now we're told to look out for them. Because what we're not doing here, guys, is we're not looking out for the white British guy with a massive chest full of tattoos and everything else. That's not the guy we're looking for, is it? Remember, we used to look out for someone, though, didn't we? These people. That's right, Martin McInnes then and Jerry Adams. Interestingly enough, Martin McInnes shot at my father when my father was on street patrol in Northern Ireland as 4-5 commander, as a Royal Marine back in the day. I'm not a huge fan, to be fair, but no, the people we need to look out for now are not these people, are they? The people we need to look out for now, of course, are these people. And these are two actors from the film Four Lions. But let's be honest, guys, we're not looking out, as I said, for white ethnic British. We are looking for immigrants that don't particularly like our way of life, which is a Christian way of life. So we just got to keep it real. In this video, we are going to be a little bit intense. So we're going to mix it up with some humour because it is Christmas time in the UK.
We have to be careful. Someone here is possessed by an owl. Who? That's the thing. We don't...
That's where we're at, guys. Yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it? Look, public urge to report potential, we're going to call them risks, because I don't want to lose my YouTube channel, at Christmas markets and pantos, shopping centres, concerts, pantos, all vulnerable to attack. Why are they vulnerable to attack? Why? Because we haven't got the policing that we used to have. And also, 70% of our police officers have less than 5 years service now. This is obviously a dereliction of duty. You know how it is with the Home Office, guys. I want to jail a lot of them, to be fair. I really want to get in with Rupert Lowe and reform and work out how we can make sure that we are prosecuting people who have let down the British public, because people have let down the British public. We know they have. And of course, it's no good saying, well, it's all right, isn't it? They didn't realise what they were doing. They did know what they were doing. They did it anyway, of course. And we've got a problem now with fundamental Islamic terrorism within the UK. Let's have a look at other countries that have suffered the same fate. So, of course, Germany and France have gone through it before us. Now, I was almost in this Berlin Christmas market attack back in 2019. I missed it by about 12 hours, something like that. Tunisian asylum seeker, Islamic ties, obviously hijacked a truck and drove it into a market, killing 12 people, injuring 56, an horrendous thing to do, of course. There was the Ford-Osberg plot. There was was that Leverkusen plot, if I said that correctly? And then the Hanover plot, of course, at the end, where planning a knife attack. We have seen other knives, of course, in the German Christmas market. I'll show you something about that in a minute. And then in France, of course, they had the horrendous Strasbourg market one, didn't they, where there was a firearm used and 5 people were killed, injuring 11. This is the problem I've got, though, with the policing as it is at the moment, because we have to define the threat. We cannot go out there saying, we're just looking at terrorists. And if we look at this article, it doesn't actually tell us in here who to look for. This is a really big issue I've got, of course, with this, with the government, with British policing, making British people less safe than they were originally, because you know when everything happens, guys, whenever there's some kind of murder, you know who it is, because if it's a white guy, they mention that straight out, don't they? Who we're looking for is a white guy. If they don't mention the sort of race of the person, then you know it's going to be, I hate to say an immigrant, it might not be an immigrant, of course, but it's probably going to be someone that ethnically is not from the United Kingdom. Ethnically, that means pre-1950, so someone that isn't a white British person. But that's, let's just, I work on facts. I don't work on feelings. And this is Martin Hess, then a German MP from the AfD party, talking about the immigration that's come into Germany and the problems they're having. I'll press play. He starts talking. I know I'm cutting out a bit of this, guys. Copyright, obviously. The rates of migrant and knife crime have risen steadily. I'll just move myself up.
Steigt stetig an. Schwere Sexualdelikte wie Gruppenvergewaltigungen nehmen zu. Frauen und Kinder werden mittlerweile vor einfahrende Züge gestoßen. Krankenhäuser, Freibäder, Schulen und Jobcenter kommen ohne Sicherheitsdienste nicht mehr aus. Die Angriffe gegen Polizei, Feuerwehr, Rettungskräfte werden immer brutaler und Clankriminelle tyrannisieren ganze Stadtteile, stürmen Polizeiwachen und Krankenhäuser, und die Sicherheitsbehörden konstatieren einen massiven Zulauf und warnen vor neuen, gefährlicheren Clans mit kriegserfahrenen Zuwanderern. Das sind Kriegsmaschinen, die sie mit ihrer fatalen Migrationspolitik ungehindert in unser Land lassen. Und das ist ein Skandal.
Yeah, absolutely right there. War experienced immigrants coming in. And that's because we don't know, do we? In this country, we don't actually know who they're actually letting in because they haven't got any papers. And the problem without having any papers is that you're not able, under the European Court of Human Rights, to return people to a country you don't know where they've come from. So that's why they throw their papers in the sea. I'll do another video about why this is happening. A lot of it is to do with debt, the debt mountain, and getting people in debt. But in the meantime, we'll have a bit more humour and then we'll just finish the video. Right, no duff, safety 6 clips, Nelson's lockers, the thought ships and everything else, right? Well, this is how I think, how men think when they're walking down a Christmas market in comparison to my wife, shall I say.
2 guys to my left, it's all good. 3 to my right, I can take them. 2 big dogs, they're on the lead, it's all good.
And here's a person who's made this country so unsafe, it's ridiculous. How this man is not only still in power, but been given a knighthood. My goodness.
So Londoners will see the crocodile tears coming from the Conservatives. They
well, don't you dare say they're crocodile tears, because we care. We do care. You say robbery's down, 82.5% increase in business robbery. Don't you dare say we don't care, because we damn well do care. It's you that doesn't appear to care because you're not doing anything about it. In the last 12 months, sexual offences were up 6%. 125,000 domestic abuse offenders were recorded. The positive outcome for the rates for these crimes was less than 10%. That is absolutely appalling, and let me assure you, my colleagues do care.
Yeah, it gets worse. Trying to hold Sadiq Khan to account is never going to work out well, is it? Never going to work out. What he's still doing that I don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to leave this with Rupert Lowe just for 1 minute, basically, as he goes through the issues with immigration.
There's a concerted campaign within government to hide vital statistics from the British people regarding the impact of uncontrolled mass immigration, legal and illegal. Let me be abundantly clear, it's a cover-up. Whether it's crimes committed by illegal migrants or a nationality breakdown of those claiming benefits, the British people deserve to know the ugly truth. If there's nothing to hide, show us the data. Information is being concealed from the public on crime, welfare claims, tax contributions, size of illegal population, public service usage, and so much more. Either the Home Office is deliberately hiding the numbers, or the data is genuinely not collected. Both options are equally terrifying. It's either pure incompetence or shocking dishonesty. Sadly, I believe it's the latter. My message to the Home Office is clear. Show us the data and we can make up our own minds.
I'm going to stop it there, all right? Rupert's doing an absolutely fantastic job. You know how it is, guys. But in all honesty, I believe they have collected this data. They don't want us to see it, do they? Of course they don't want to see it, because if we see it, we're going to know the extent of the problem. We're going to know how many people have come in, that they have no idea where they are. They've got no idea at all. And all I say is if there is an attack over this Christmas period, then our government is to blame, and we need to do something about that as the people. What that is, you know how it is, guys. I'm not advocating anything here, but the truth is we need to start looking into the Home Office. Who was in charge of the borders? Who was the Home Secretary at the time when these people were let in? It wasn't a Labour one, it was a Conservative one. We need to hold them to account, put them in front of a court of law, and work out whether they should be sentenced to custodial time, so jail time basically, because this is not acceptable. We can't have this. And I'll tell you why we can't have it, okay? Because, well, I don't want to get into too many details on this because obviously the channel, you know what I mean? You know how it is, guys. I do a lot on the channel and stuff, right? But you've got those young girls at Southport, all right? And that guy should never be in the country. You know, I'm not going to, it's an onwards trial. You know, I can't go on about it, you know what I'm saying? But look, let's just leave it at that. Leave it alone. Have a good Christmas. I'll try and get a few more films out for you, all right? Bit of a warning. Hey, Tim Davies, Fast Jet Performance.